All right, so these corners, they're a little funky. Like when you start doing like rounds and fillets and all this stuff on Rhino surfaces, they get really crazy sometimes because you need to think about it procedurally. And before this was done, before I yanked these things over, what you actually got were surfaces that weren't really connecting. And that it's really difficult for Rhino to compute that. So what I like to do as a best practice, and it's really because I'm not like the world's best expert in Rhino, so there are probably faster ways of doing it, but I just have a habit of trying to sort of simplify the geometry into something that that I guess I can recreate a little bit more simply. So I try to stick with like sweeps and revolves and stuff like that that's going to help me, you know, simplify this new connection I have to make. Okay, so in case you missed that, what I did was Control and Shift is how you use a hotkey to select an edge of a surface, right? And that allows you to use the gumball to do the Move Edge command. You guys remember that? I think we talked about it like one of the first days. So I can slide this back and forth just like I'm moving the edge. Okay, it used to be back here, and I moved it out here just to make sure that they both cross one another. It wasn't really all that critical in the end, but the real key is grabbing this edge, and it doesn't matter which edge it is really. But if you want to create an extrusion off of an edge, it's Alt-Shift. So Control-Shift to grab the edge, and Alt-Shift to create an extrusion. But the actual command is a little funny. If you have to sort of hit Alt, click on the arrow, and then hit Shift. Oh no, sorry, hang on. Was it Alt? What am I? Now I'm like forgetting. Hang on a moment. I just did it, and I did it like just by nature, but Control, all Control. There it is. Sorry. Yeah.
The fillet radius, did you have it? You left it at 1, or did you change
2 feet.
2 feet.
Yeah. Anyway, so I just sort of did it second nature. I thought it was Alt-Shift. It's not. It's Alt, click, Control, and that's gonna create an extrusion. Okay. Then I grabbed this one real quick, and I just pulled it over. Okay, that one wasn't creating another extrusion. It was just pulling it over. I did the same thing here with this surface. I did Alt, Control, pull it up, then Alt, Control to grab, or Control Shift to grab that edge, and then you can yank it over. Okay, what that does is it creates these two little surfaces that I can use to trim that little edge. Condition out, so I do trim, I select these as my cutting objects, and then I select both sides of that corner to be cut. Am I losing any of you?
Yeah.
Where did I lose you?
At the
Oh yeah, the hotkeys. Yeah, they're. I mean, let's do some practice, right? Let's do a line. Hopefully one we can see. All right. So the line, right? You can just click it to select it. But if it's a surface, right? Let me just make a surface real quick. Oops. Okay. So if it's a surface, you have to select. I mean, you can select the surface by clicking on it, but you can't select just the edge. You have to do Control Shift and grab the edge. Okay. Usually the gumball will align to object. That there are some different gumball settings that you need to be aware of. Usually it'll align to the object, and you can kind of yank it and basically stretch the thing.
Kevin?
Yeah.
I have an easier way.
Yeah. What'd you do?
You can go back to a cube, and you can just set in FilletEdge. Go to 2 feet and select all the edge you want.
Was it still joined?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you did it when it was still joined. Okay, that's good, actually. Thank you. So anyway, I guess we could do it that way, right? You still had all the surfaces joined?
Yeah.
You guys want me to show you that way, I suppose? It's probably faster. FilletEdge. What's that?
Working all the walls?
You really only need to do the bottom ones. Fillet edge, next radius 2. Yeah. Cool. That's clever. Learn something new every day. I like that.
Oh yeah, okay, so I was thinking it was
All right.
laboratory we did that, and I was like, I feel like there's an easier way to
Yeah, I thought so too. I was like, what is it? Thank you. It's been a long time since I've done that. But anyway, so in case you guys missed it on the revolve, right? If you get yourself into a pickle and it's not working, the revolve command, you just Control Shift and click the edge, and you just need to make sure that you set the center line axis going vertical. So I just did revolve, clicked here in the bottom point, and then I just held Shift and went in the vertical axis. Whoops, that didn't go in the vertical axis. In the vertical axis? Hey, nice. You guys are teaching me everything today. Clearly I don't use Rhino enough anymore. Alright, so there we go. Kobe wins. Alright. Alright, so anyway, let's get going with actually setting up the interior environment, I suppose, but I'm going to close out this video because it was sort of a separate thing.